We are here to talk about the pre-conference 2, Stroke in the Lab World, which this year is special pre-conference. Today with me I have the two co-chairs of the pre-conference.
Sunghee Cho
and Joseph LaManna.
So they represent two groups. This is a special pre-conference. It's a joint conference between ISC, the stroke conference, and the International Society for Cerebral Blood Flow and Metabolism. So we have managed to combine two major groups of that work on the lab work of stroke research. So first of all, how did you come up with this conference, the topic and the themes of the conference?
So, as representing American Heart Associations and American Stroke Association, we try to have a mission which is longer and healthier life in the cerebrovascular disease. So, this conference typically has a very, very heavy component of the clinical components. So, we would like to have the more focus on the preclinical and the basic science. And then that could be actually synergized with the clinical aspects of it. So this is the purpose of this pre-conference.
And one of the primary scientific societies for basic research in the area of stroke is the International Society of Cerebral Blood Flow and Metabolism. And we have always tried to have outreach programs to other societies. We've always tried to provide funding for meetings that have that align with our mission statement and our mission goals, and of course the Heart Association and the Stroke Conference is one of the best examples of clinical relevance for our basic science research, and so we were asked to get together and put together a conference which would feature where the future might be for stroke research and how the basic scientists can interact with clinicians. It's one of the more difficult subject areas for interaction between basic scientists and clinicians, and too often we don't speak with each other. And this is a way that we can help get going, really.
Right. And so the importance for the ISC and for the clinical part is that the therapies will emerge from this field. Basic scientists will come up with the potential therapies that we can take to the clinic at some point.
Yeah. Two of the topics, for example, that we just had in the sessions are what I would consider cutting edge because we didn't really consider them for therapeutic purposes 5 or 10 years ago. That being the influence of the gut microbiome in brain function and dysfunction, and also potential treatment using dietary treatment, either in protection before or in treatment after, featuring a ketogenic diet or ketones in replacement for carbohydrates for brain metabolism.
So I can really highlight it in the other aspects because we thought the brain injury, stroke, is always something about CNS aspects of it. But however, the emerging evidence really shows that the peripheral system is really giving the profound effect on the CNS injury. And that's not just the injury development, but also recovery functions. So, as you see our session title, microbiome, how does it affect, or the metabolic functions, and the immune cells, the neuroinflammation, how it might be affect in the CNS injury and then development and then repair. So all these things I think it's become very important, the peripheral influence on the CNS injury. And of course we have the cutting edge techniques and then some optogenetics, and then looking at actually inflammation by using the imaging techniques, and then I think that would also help the audiences to capture the ongoing and emerging topics that we selected.
So another aspect of the pre-conference is education. So what is what is the committee has done for education here?
So one of the highlights that we have is that we have junior investigators. So it was selected from the one of the the selected through the committee members, and then we create them, and then they are fantastic. They're like fellows and then early career. Some of them are actually training and the students, and then they really got into this award. And then, I think they really enjoyed it, and then all the audience was really fostering these junior investigators for their contribution.
Yeah, so this is a characteristic of the society where we require actually the support of junior investigators at the meetings. And so the International Society for Cerebral Blood Flow and Metabolism is happy to provide the resources for the travel awards to these four selected junior investigators. We're happy to do this. This is part of our mission.
Right. We'd like to know what the goal is for this pre-conference, this new style of joint conference for the future. How do you see the future for this?
Right. So, this is the first year actually we did a full day conference. It used to be a half day. By expanding with the support of the International Society of the Cerebral Blood Flow Metabolisms. And I think we really could have this, this ongoing and maybe more solidify these organizations and these meetings in the future, so that we can synergize with the clinical aspects of it as well as the preclinical and the basic science of it.
And the International Society for Cerebral Blood Flow and Metabolism has done this in the past on a regular basis with other organizations. Right. I remember the GRC, Gordon Research Conferences, that we used to sponsor on our off year. And this is certainly something we can discuss at our meeting at Yokohama this summer.
Okay. So as you can see, we have a great pre-conference. It's a new, novel pre-conference, two societies together. Blending and trying to bring the best science to Honolulu this year. Something that we are trying to promote for the next few years and to make it a permanent event. I think it's an essential component for ISC because we are educating our basic scientists, the future basic scientists of stroke research, and will also educate the clinicians that are, it's important for them to learn how we take things to the clinic from the therapeutic point of view. So I just want to give you special thanks for everything you have done over the year. It's been a lot of work, but we really have a magnificent pre-conference this year.
Certainly welcome. It's our pleasure.